So the Leadership Consortium owes its name and its origin from the fact that a consortium is in essence a grouping and a collective of ideas and thoughts. And it's embedded in the fact that leadership per se is not normally in the hands of one person. It should be a collective, it should involve different perspectives, it should involve a broad spectrum of what is possible from the leadership perspective. The Zenger-Folkman family of colleagues around the world represent a broad group of people who are playing in the leadership space. And our Australian colleagues, Terry Reynolds and Glenn Price, have done a magnificent job in putting together a set of podcasts that address the questions and the recipes within the Zenger-Folkman methodology. These podcasts represent step-by-step, short, bite-sized, normally about 3 to 4 minutes, ideas, concepts, and tips and tricks as to how we can build our extraordinary leadership. So our invitation is to enjoy these podcasts, squeeze as much value as you can out of them, and make it part of building your leadership stepway to extraordinary. The sixth podcast addresses the central feature of the critical role that character plays in the leadership world. In South Africa, we have no better example that outlines this principle and this essence by understanding how people like Mahatma Gandhi contributed to their change in the world. Our research shows that people with low character produce low leadership results. We also know that there are 3 key elements where character is shown in practice to be of unbelievable value. This is summarized in doing what you say you will do, linking that to feedback, and a key element is one of humility as being part of the mix in developing leadership character. In South Africa, we have a massive opportunity in developing our leadership character in part of becoming extraordinary leaders.
Welcome to the Leadership Digital podcast series with Glenn Price and Terry Reynolds. The centre tentpole in our leadership metaphor that we discussed on our last podcast is character. Our research shows that a person who receives low marks on character has absolutely no chance of being perceived as a great leader, especially in the long run. Leaders who lack character must constantly be on guard that people will discover the truth about them. Like the Hollywood set that looks real from one side, they live in a constant danger of having the illusion of their character dispelled if others see behind the facade. What are the key elements of strong personal character then? Leaders with character follow through on commitments. They keep their word. They make decisions with the good of the organization in mind rather than a personal agenda. These leaders gain respect by being open and transparent. In fact, the more people can see inside, the more highly regarded the leader will be. Leaders with character treat others with respect. They don't smile up and kick down. The bellhop and the waitress get the same consideration as the CEO. Leaders with integrity look at others through a positive lens. They assume others have a good intention rather than bad. They look to collaborate rather than compete. High character leaders keep learning. They try new things and adjust rapidly to changing environments. They attempt to improve themselves constantly. They look for feedback and then they act upon it. Now, surely some must be wondering, but can I improve my character? And if so, how? The answer might be surprising. Some believe the following chain of events is typical. First off, you have your character, which leads through to your attitude, which leads through to your behavior. This sequence of character, attitude, and behavior assumes you must first will your character into a new state. Then your attitudes and behavior will follow. But the fact is that people work very hard to make their attitudes and ultimately their character conform to their behavior. If you successfully alter your behavior, there will be a remarkable transformation in attitude and eventually character. In essence, we believe the following chain better maps reality. Firstly, you have your behavior, which has an impact on your attitude, which has an impact on your character. So here are some following steps to alter your behavior and ultimately your character. Number 1, always deliver. Be cautious in the commitments you make. Be careful not to overstate or overpromise what you can accomplish. Follow through. If you know you won't be able to keep a commitment, don't brush it under the rug. Admit it and re-clarify intentions. Number 2, be humble. Be willing to laugh at yourself. Don't flaunt your authority. Humility will make you approachable. It opens the door to building strong and trusted relationships. And 3, find a mirror. You need to find out how others perceive your character. This mirror may be a good internal mentor, a trusted colleague or friend, or an effective 360-degree feedback process. Without this self-critical perspective, it's impossible to exert strong influence on a work group. Remember what Dave Ulrich once said, "Everything about great leadership radiates from character."
It's a pleasure to be able to share these thoughts and ideas with you and hopefully be part of allowing you to adopt a journey where extraordinary leadership is an opportunity and a growth area for you and your teams.